I'm ready. Estoy listo.
I am ready. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
So welcome to the viewers that are on now. I am Shay Statman. I am 21 years old. I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I'm like the founder of Change Minds. But I don't want to consider myself the founder because I have this wonderful team of panel members that I am so excited to have on my team. And the main purpose of Change Minds is just basically to open up the minds of the people, just give them a broader way of thinking, just because you have too many people that are closed-minded. And our main goal is just to open up their minds. Like one quote that I have to give out here that's been my foundation is from my apostle, Tommy Tweedy. He said, if you change the way you think, you will change the way you live. And I feel like that fits this podcast so well. So I'm just ready to change some minds, get some people thinking, just giving y'all some different views. Like, I'm excited. And I mean, let's get into it. So I'm ready. So y'all ready?
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Y'all can go ahead and introduce you guys.
Well, my name is Tyler. I'm 23 years old. I'm a director at an elementary school in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I'm ready to get this popping. So let's just go for what we know right now.
All right. Hey, y'all. My name is Jordan Fowler. I'm 23 years old from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I recently graduated college, went to Lander University in Greenwood, South Carolina. Got a degree, have a degree in sociology. And, I just want to get this dialogue going, just change some minds as the name that we chose or whatever like that, change some mind and open up different perspectives for everybody to listen to and view.
Yes.
Hey y'all, I'm Kaylana Gaston. I'm 23 years old. I am the First Lady of Greater Destiny Ministries, where my husband is the pastor, Bishop Jamonte D. Gaston. I am also the owner of 1K Lashes, and I'm also in the process of being the owner of Catherine's Home Care. I'm just elated to be a part of this, and I'm ready to get it popping.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? My name is LaTroy Jameson. I'm 21. I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I am right now going to Spartanburg Methodist College and getting a degree in criminal justice. I joined Change Minds because I wanted to be a part of a podcast. And I just wanted to see how everybody else's mind is and how everybody else thinks about certain topics. And I'm so glad to be a part of Change Minds because everybody has a different way of that they think and different way that they see things.
Yes.
Hey y'all, my name is Michaela Streeter. I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I'm 23 years old. And sorry. And I joined Change Minds because I really want to give different ideas and take in some. So yeah.
Hello. I'm Raekwon Sweezy. You can call me Ray or you can call me Sweezy, either or. I'm 21. I'm from Shelby. I attend Winston-Salem State University where I major in Spanish and I'm my minor in business. I'm currently pursuing my real estate degree. So yeah, we got a lot of things in store. I joined Change Minds because I have a big voice and I have a lot to say and I'm not afraid to say it. So if I can change somebody's mind or if I can be representation for somebody who didn't think somebody thought like them, then that's a win for me. Today we are talking about growing up Black, and I cannot talk about growing up Black without talking about the foundation of any Black family, and that's the Black woman, the Black mother in particular. And so this week was real hard for me. Like, honestly, I lost my cousin Wednesday, my aunt's son. And it's been hard for my family, but it's just so crazy. Like, I really see my mother and my aunt as just super women. Like, they really just going through what they're going through and they holding everybody together. And they've been doing it since I was young. And it amazes me, like, how strong these women have been without any man in their life. Like, and it's just crazy. And because of these women, I am who I am. And that just makes me think, like, it makes me bring the question, like, do y'all think it's essential to have a two-parent household, and specifically a mother and a father figure?
Me personally, I don't think that's necessary, just as long as you have a figure like a mother and a father figure. Like, they don't have to necessarily be inside the home, like you can have a mentor, or what I'm saying, it's like your pastor, or like a coach you might have like as a father figure that you look up to, and then you have your mother at home or something like that, that's the motherly figure that you need. So no, I don't think both parents have to be inside the home, but I do believe that you have to have like a male and a female voice, just somebody who's mature enough, to handle like a child, and can, give them the guidance and wisdom to grow up in, this world that we live in. It's like so crazy. So
I definitely agree. I don't think that it's necessary or essential to have both parents in the home, simply because you can have both parents in the home, but just because they're both in the home doesn't necessarily mean they're there for you emotionally, they're there for you spiritually, socially, and that whole nine. You can have the mother and the father in the home, and all of the kids be more drawn to the mother because she's there for them. Meanwhile, the father, he's there in the house, but he's not actually there with them. Or it can be reversed. The father's there, taking care of all the responsibilities, and the mother's out doing whatever. So I don't think it's essential to have both parents in the home, but picking up back on what Jordan said, it is essential to have a mother or a father figure to show you both aspects of either being a woman or being a man.
I would definitely have to agree with Jordan and Tyler, because I grew up with both of my parents in the home, but my mom and my dad later got divorced. But I did have, my dad still in my life. But I had my mom and my dad, but I also had that other person that I could turn to. So I would think it definitely would not be essential.
Okay, so with that being said, y'all said y'all think it's important to have a mother and a father figure in a home. So do you think that a gay couple could raise a daughter?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think so.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think they could.
Yeah,
definitely
I really
agree.
think it's all about the like morals and the values, like the person that's raising the child, not necessarily the sex or gender. Because
Yeah.
you could have, just like a man that that doesn't know how to raise a child, or like have the proper values, and then the same thing for a woman. A woman can do the same thing. It's just all about that adult who's like mature and just can
Yep.
raise the child in the right way.
Yeah.
I
That's
agree.
big though. That's big, Jordan, though. Like the maturity in it, like it plays a huge part. Like just because they're the same sex, like it doesn't matter. I mean, the same sex marriage may give you more than the opposite sex marriage. So I think it really depends on the maturity of the people, and you just really have to not really care what the audience says about it, because people are gonna talk regardless.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
So we're talking about parents in the household. So growing up, I know I'm like a victim of depression. Like I have dealt with it. And more so it's because my parents were there, but I feel like they didn't connect emotionally to me. And nothing against my parents, it's just that they didn't connect emotionally, okay? So, and during that time, I grew up depressed a little bit. So do y'all feel like it's hard for parents to accept that their child is depressed in the Black community?
I think it is, because for one, I'll say we're living in two different times from when they were growing up versus when we're growing up. So a lot of our depression stems from peer pressure. It stems from family, friends, and the whole nine, and like just time in itself, just like changing. So I think it's hard for them to accept, one, because they don't understand what it is.
Right.
And then two, they're not up to date with the struggles that we have to fight off on a daily basis. So I definitely think it's hard for them to accept it.
I definitely think so too, because like I said before, they kind of like feel like we're young, so we don't have anything to worry about. We don't have any bills. All we have to do is literally go to school and come back home and do whatever. So they definitely, from my experience, it's just like you don't have anything to worry about. So what are you depressed for?
Right.
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 Yeah. From I would say why parents don't understand just the generational gap. Like
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah,
one
that's good.
yeah, that's really one thing I know for me, like I came from like a loving home and stuff like that. So I always had, like the support from my family and I really, never felt, depressed like that or whatever like that. But just, from knowing people and talking to my friends and stuff like that, you can just tell like, I don't know, just like I feel like the difference in parenting styles can also play a role in that as well. Like the kind of
Yeah.
like calm, mild mannered parent, like I feel like is more apt and willing to like talk to their child about, the problems that's going on or whatever. Whereas the kind of like the loud, aggressive parents, like, oh, there's no need for you to be depressed. Why you being depressed for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And it's like that only messes with your mental. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
Yeah.
not to cut you off. So I know certain people, they didn't even go to their parents when they were depressed. Like it's just something that they just went through
Right,
alone and just got
right.
through it. So with that being said, like, do y'all feel like if you, or in general, if you go to your parents, would your parent be able to help you, or a therapist? Like, what do you feel like? Do you think like that would help?
I feel like now as an adult, yes, because me and my mama can connect on a different level because the problems that I go through now isn't a reflection of her parenthood. Like it's not a reflection of her parenting, it's on who I am like as an adult. But see, when I was a child, it was always like, I think it's a matter of pride when it comes to parents. And sometimes when you go to them and tell them, oh, I have this problem, like this is, I feel bad, I feel sad, they take that as like they're not doing their job. And so they get defensive and they feel like basically you telling me that I ain't a good parent. Like that's basically what you're telling me. And like I see that a lot in parents. It's like kids really can't come to them because the parents make it about them. And they just completely ignore what the child is feeling. So yeah.
And to piggyback, that's really good, Raekwon. And to piggyback off something Jordan said, me too. I came from a house, they loved the crap out of me, spoiled me, all of that. I had that love, but it's like he said, the generational gap, things as time shifted, you hang around certain people, you get around certain things, you get caught up in certain situations, it causes you to be depressed. And to be honest, you don't even realize it's depression the first time because you're just like, why am I all of a sudden feeling like this? Low, why am I feeling like I'm in my feelings all the time and I'm having mood swings? Like what's going on? So that's very true.
Y'all, I don't mean to cut nobody off, but then I'm thinking also, what if it wasn't even depression? What if it's just puberty? Like you just growing into that woman or you growing into that man and you thinking it's depression, but it's really you just growing up and you not understanding your feelings or the emotions that you feel. Like, and we define it as depression. It's really not depression. It's just you mature. So the parents like, you're not, it's nothing wrong with you. You just becoming like, that's why they don't take it as serious. Have you ever? I ain't never thought about it. It's just
true. And I honestly think, I think that's the case a lot of times. Like parents, they've been through it. Like they understand. Like you're really you exaggerate and you're real emotional right now, but it's really not that big of a deal, and they can see that. But I still feel like a big part of that, like as a parent, is like, yeah, your child gonna get through it. I mean, they might get through it. Like they might not say you can't just write it off. Like it's not important. Because you can have that in and that's like even with friendships, like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, my friend, your problem ain't that serious, so we ain't even gonna talk about it. Nah, how you feeling? Like let's talk about it. Like let's dissect it. We might can help, but I don't know. Parents really don't be having that mentality. They feel like they're doing everything that they can possibly do. Mental health is just not what it's not taken as seriously in the Black community as it should be.
And back to that too. Was you finished?
I was finished, yeah.
Okay, I feel like some parents, don't know how to love their child because, you know, they haven't been properly loved, you know? So how can
That's
they,
good.
you know,
That's
how
good.
can you do that? So that was a big one for
Yeah.
me too. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
I
what
think
that's
the
what my
biggest
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think the I think the biggest problem is like sometimes we just want to go to our parents and just get reassurance, and our parents don't like she just said, our parents don't know how to give that to us. So that way it's hard. And then even if we don't go into depression, we still kind of slide into it because we're like, dang, I'm looking for this reassurance from my parents and I can't even get it from my parents. So it's like, who do I
go
get it
to?
from? Now, yeah, now you running out in the world trying to figure out who to get it from, and you looking for it in all in the wrong places.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's where
That's
I
the
was
one right
going.
there.
That's where I was going. That's where I was
Yeah,
going.
yeah,
Because I was saying,
that's a
like,
big
you
one.
can't get it from your parents. You can't get it from a therapist. So I was gonna say what
Nah,
I got from is from God. Like Dr. Thor's right
definitely.
out here, but God was
Definitely.
my source where I feel like, okay,
Yeah,
I can lay everything out and He's gonna heal it. I don't have to worry about it being in the streets. I don't have to worry about nobody talking about what I got going on. And God,
Yes.
yep,
like truly, it was
True.
God
right,
that got me through.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Did y'all grow up in religious households? Like, did
I
anybody
did.
grow up in like a really religious household?
Personally, honestly, I would say I'm the more religious person that was in my household. Everybody went to church, but I was the more person that was grounded in a sense
Yeah.
for a time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I grew up in a religious household. And looking back on it, even certain situations that I went through that I, still go through now, my mom would be like, and we all done heard this, pray about it, talk to God about it.
Mhm.
And during that
Mhm.
time, you
Yeah,
like, man, I don't want to hear that. Like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to make this spiritual? But like to pick up on what Shay said, that's what got me through. And
Yeah.
it's still getting me through. So
Right.
yeah, I grew up in a religious household, but I will say some of the things that my mom and my dad both told me to do when I was young, if I had listened, I would have been able to avoid half
Avoid
the
all
stuff
of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
dealing with
Yeah.
now.
Right.
So
Right.
gotta give
Right.
mom and dad credit for that. They
Yeah.
Okay.
may not have
Yeah.
knew everything, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I commend them growing me up in the church. That grounded me, like no lie.
Yeah.
Yes.
You might have like when you was younger, like I'm sick of going to church. But when I think
Mhm.
about
Right.
it now, like I appreciate it. Like I
Definitely.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. So like, do y'all feel like at a certain age, like your parents should stop taking care of you? Like, okay, that's it. You got it. Go on. Like, that's enough.
Never. No, I don't think they should never start caring for you because that's gonna push you into a deeper state of depression. Like you know
Right.
that you don't have nobody there with
Right.
you. So like no,
Right.
I think your parents need to always forever stay by your side, no matter what you do, because even if you go through certain things, like you gotta go through certain things to learn. Like if you gonna make mistakes in life, like I can't tell you how many mistakes I made, but my mom and my dad never left my side. Like they stayed there and they actually was still cultivating me, saying, hey, listen, you need to do this, you need to do that. And that just gives me the reassurance that I actually need. So I know I don't think your parents should never leave you no matter what you do.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now one thing for sure, before they help you, they're gonna give you some hell. Now you're gonna hear
Oh
it now.
yeah.
You don't hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like LaToya said, they come through it. They come through at the end. So that's
Yeah.
that's the thing. So I don't think that there's a certain cutoff age where they should be like, you got it, you good. Because
I'm done with you.
I don't think
Right.
I don't think your parents should ever stop caring for you, but I most definitely feel like your parents gotta give you some kind of like room. Like they gotta give you some room to grow. Like they can still be there for you and they can still help you, but they can't smother you. And I feel like a lot of parents do that after like their child done graduated and went to
Like,
school
I'm not a
or
kid.
whatever, and they do that, and then I see them kids getting like the sheltered kids be the kids who have it the worst in college because they know absolutely nothing. And then when and their parents, they call their parents for every single thing, and when their parents out there, what they got?
They don't know what to do. They lost.
Yeah. Not at all. I
Yeah,
experienced that firsthand.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. So like me, I believe, parents, they should always look after their child and always want to make sure they're taken care of and like, be successful. My mom always told me, I may fall down or whatever, scrape my knee, but she gonna be right there to pick me back
Right,
up and, get me back right or whatever like that. So, you know, but with that being said, though, like, I don't know if y'all have seen recently about the Dr. Dre and his like daughter, like that situation or whatever like that.
Yeah.
She's saying she's homeless and stuff. She has 4 children and stuff. She's living out her car. Her children's with family friends. But meanwhile, she's 38 years old, and it's like, so how do y'all feel about that? Is that still like, oh, like she should have had her act together, And then granted,
bruh.
Dr. Dre is worth like $1 billion, so it's like,
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, bro, I
You
get
got
it.
too much money for that.
yeah,
Right.
Like, I get it when you grown, your parents ain't supposed to be there to help you, but bro, at the end of the day, that's family. Like,
Yeah.
it don't matter.
Help her get up
She
on
might
her
have made some
feet at least.
mistakes. Exactly. Like, you have the money to
Exactly.
do that, bro. You literally have the money to do that 1,000,
Right.
like 1,000,000 times over. Do that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't care what
Yeah.
y'all going through. That she has your grandchildren. They didn't do a single thing.
Definitely.
Come on,
Right.
that's your
That's
needs.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't care how old
Yeah.
I get. I don't care if I'm 50. My daddy always gonna come to my rescue, and he ain't gonna want to see his grandkids on the streets at all.
Yeah.
Hey,
Exactly. That's just he's just deadbeat. There's no excuse for that. He's
Yeah.
canceled.
Deadbeat.
but listen, y'all, but we have to come to play to think, okay, what if she received her inheritance and everything, and like she just blew it and she just flat out just disrespectful, because we don't know the other side. She could be like live disrespectful to her father, and he's like, I'm sick, I'm tired of it. Like, no, nothing.
And that's the other side of that, because
Right.
if you're 38 years old, at some point,
At some
something should
point,
clicked up here to be like,
Something should
if I
click.
got
That
four, I
light
got
bulb
four
should go off.
kids, I gotta get my ducks in a row.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Right.
like Michaela said also, like, because there's two sides of it. He can at least help her get back on her feet, but
Mhm.
him putting you on your feet, you're gonna have to choose to stay on your feet,
Stay on your
because
feet. Yeah.
you got 4 kids. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And think about it. Like,
Yeah.
what if she been spoiled all her life though, y'all?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how you gonna do that? So
But maybe he's trying to break that though. I know she's 38 and he's like, darn,
Right.
she's old. Like, you should. But at the same time, like, okay, she might, it's enough is enough. Like, you 38. Like, come on. Let's
Yeah.
So you about to be 40.
Like,
To
come
get it,
on.
you got to get it together. Like,
Have grandkids. You never know. Like, come on.
yeah. Yeah, like
Oh,
your
no.
kids is looking up to you. Like you need to get it together. Like
right.
your kids shouldn't be watching you do this at 40 years old, no matter how much they granddaddy got, how much money he got. Like
Right.
you need to get it together, because your kids
Right.
is gonna be like, oh well, when I get this age in life, I can just do whatever I want to do, and
they
life is just
follow
gonna
after
come
that.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
you never know. She might have a mental problem. So what?
And that's when she need to go get help.
What
I
seems
feel like at the end of the day, he should still help her, because guess what? At the end of the day, guess who you gonna need? Your children. So like,
Yeah, that's right.
Child, there's
Yeah.
plenty where that came from. But at the same time, like, if you're not willing to help yourself, though, like he can't only do something. Like, we only know part of the story. Like, we don't know whether
Right.
it's drug addiction.
Yeah.
We
Right.
don't know whether it's like mental health. We don't know whether if she's homeless with her kids, or if she's just homeless and her kids are with their people. Like, I mean, we don't know. But if the kids are homeless, then he got to do it.
now that's
They
now,
ain't got no
Yeah.
they ain't got no control over
They ain't
that.
got-
I only care about the
Right.
kids
yeah,
at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
So like, to my males, like, what are some challenging things that y'all done had to face just growing up, like in America, like there's just something that you had to face, like, let me know.
Personally,
you can go, LaTroy. You can go.
personally, the biggest thing growing up Black as a male, I would say is getting different opportunities in life, because you get looked at. So like you get looked at very differently. So like for example, like I had a position come open at work and I got passed up for another guy that was a different race from me. So I think that's one of the biggest things, like just being black and getting passed up for different opportunities, just because they think that you're a black male and they just think that, okay, all right, he's black, he can't do nothing. But now if you go back and talk to my boss, like I'm a leader at my store and I'm probably one of the best leaders that she has out of 10 stores. And like my numbers and stuff is like off the chart. So like I think the world just needs to give black males opportunities to stop looking at people just because their color, their skin, like just because they're black, just saying that they can't do a certain thing, because they may end up outdoing you in your job and taking your job. So but I would think I would say that was my biggest thing with growing up black, is just getting a fair opportunity in certain things.
Yeah. And I can piggyback off of that, LaTroy, because even with the job that I have now, I'm a director as a black man as a director at an elementary school, and surrounded by different, ethnics or races of people. It's hard to get that respect factor in there, because they already have it made up in their minds, especially when it comes to a man. You're gonna be in the system sooner or later. Like you're gonna be doing this, doing that sooner or later. You're gonna be on the street sooner or later. So to actually see a black guy in a leading position, I think for me it's hard to gain that respect. Having to hear the side conversations, having to come to work every day, put a smile on your face when the teachers and the staff and all this other stuff that they talking with you, at the same time they got an issue with you because you're black, because you're leading, and because you're able to call the shots and ain't gotta ask no questions. So
exactly,
that was.
Yeah, I would say to piggyback off of Tyler, about basically getting that respect, because I know for me, growing up, I went to basically my elementary school, like predominantly white elementary school or whatever like that. Few black people or black kids or whatever. And it's just like people like looking at my outward appearance and not thinking I have the intellect and to compete with the other kids, like, people just look at me and just think, oh, like he's not intelligent, he's not smart. But like little do people know, like in elementary school, I wanted like the school spelling bee. Like I graduated college with a like 3.8 GPA, and like people just look at me, on the outside, and probably wouldn't even, think that about me or whatever like that. So it's just kind of trying to break in that mold that people, think that I'm not intelligent, like my vocabulary is not, I don't speak well, my vocabulary is like not extensive, stuff like that. So I feel like, just breaking that mold that I'm not intelligent, and people just looking at my outward appearance and basing it off that.
Yeah,
true.
The hardest part about growing up black for me was being a queer black boy, and it's so many different reasons why. And then like being an athletic one on top of that. Like I played basketball, I ran track, and I did that. So it's like I always felt like an outsider. Like I always have to work harder to be accepted. Like always, I always have to be the best one. That's why I'm so competitive now. And everything I do, I have to do it well, because that was the only way I gained respect. Like they didn't bother me because I was a great basketball player and I was always the top scorer. So what can you say to me? But behind my back, bro, they hated me. Like they hated me. It was nothing but this. Oh, he gay that, and then and then people tell you, and I still have problems. Like I still have problems talking to heterosexual men, especially black heterosexual men. Like just because of how I grew up, and like they tell you, oh, like they tell gay people, like, oh, gay people, like y'all think y'all make y'all gayness everything, like blah blah blah. But no, y'all do. Because everything that I do, y'all tell me that my talk is feminine, my walk is feminine. Y'all tell me that like my posture is feminine. Like y'all tell me this every day. And you expect for me not to flaunt it? You expect for me not to be vibrant? no, I have no choice. Like, so that was just really hard. And it's still like, I still have some trauma with that today, honestly.
Yeah.
Growing up
So,
is hard.
so I have a question for you, Raekwon. Would you say like it's kind of like you feel like you have to prove yourself more to people within our community or people outside our community?
Definitely our community. Most 1000% our community. Like straight white men, they don't care. Well, some of them do, clearly, but like they don't be giving that. They don't care. Like
Yeah.
it be like, I feel like I can be more myself with white men, but I just feel like with Black people in general, like I feel like we keep ourselves in a box, and anything that's outside of that box is just so taboo. Like, and that's more than just sexuality. That's a huge one. Like,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree, Raekwon, because as a Black guy, well, growing up, I have never been interested in sports. I'll watch it, but I'm not picking up no basketball. I'm not picking up no football. I'm not picking up no baseball bat. I like music was my niche. Like, leave me alone. Let me write music. Let me do that. And I was always, and to this day, like even with some of my students at my school, they're like, Mr. Tyler, come play basketball. You don't want me to do that. Like, that's very like a stipulation in the Black community, especially for males. If you're not doing a sport, you ain't hitting on nothing. And it takes you going outside of the Black community, reaching other various communities and other people before they realize, oh, you do got potential. You do got this, you do got that. My bad for trying to make you stay in this box that the Black community has created. So I definitely agree with the whole box thing, Raekwon.
I agree.
and that's why, and I just chose not to stick within those boundaries. Like I would get taken out the game, and I would be on the bench doing cheers with the cheerleaders. So I never cared, but I chose to be myself over being socially accepted. So, and yeah, because
And that just goes with finding out who you are, your identity. Because you have too many people just trying to be everybody else and not finding out what's their purpose. Like, figure out who you are. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about what everybody else think, because you already know you great within yourself. You don't need the claps or the people to tell you that you're great, because you know. Period. Right. So my females, like, what do y'all feel like the stereotypes that y'all get like growing up as a woman in Black America or United States, like in the United States?
So I was a tomboy, and like I kind of grew up, my mom wasn't really religious, but my grandparents was. So when my grandparents pull up to see me or pull up to come pick me up to go to their house for the weekend, and I'm in a t-shirt with my cousin's basketball shorts on outside tossing the football with them, they're like, oh my God, she's gonna be gay. Or they're telling my mama like, y'all need to keep her away from the t-shirts and the basketball shorts. Like, and I did actually like when I grew up, maybe like 7th, 8th grade, I started hanging around a lot of homosexuals, and it was nothing like, nothing towards any homosexual, because I actually came out of that, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, when I hung around my gay friends, my best friend was gay, you know what I'm saying? So that was just like, I told you so. Like, I told you she was, you know what I'm saying? She was gonna be gay. I told you she was gonna like girls. I told you this. That was my biggest thing growing up. Like, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I can't really say I have so many encounters, but I just don't like, how like people feel like women can't do what men can do. Like take for example, like, why haven't no woman been a president yet? Like, if we mature faster more than men, like, why haven't it been a woman president yet? Like,
and not solely like, I really believe why
stuff like that and stuff like that.
I really believe why that hasn't happened is because of just the fact that men should take lead. Like, and that's how our society look, that men should always lead. Like, so do y'all feel like a woman should be submissive to her husband or submissive in a relationship and allow that man to lead, or there should be stipulations in that? Like, how do what y'all feel?
Personally, a relationship, no, unless you've been with the person and you know your plans on to get married and they're a good person. Because me personally, I wasn't gonna submit at all, period. But you know, I had to like get a whole explanation and have two leaders in my life to even explain to me like why you should be submissive, because my mom has always been the breadwinner in the situation, in the relationships, in the marriages. So she just like, I run stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't gotta be submissive. But she definitely is submissive in her marriage now because she had to learn like I did. But I definitely feel like if it's the right man and he can lead, let him lead.
Emphasis on if he can lead, because a
If
lot of
he
people
can.
just be trying to follow a man, but they don't be following a leader,
Right.
and that's the issue.
That's it.
That's good.
Right.
Okay, like with that being said, when you say if he can lead, like what would you say like are some characteristics of like a man leading, like examples, or you know what I'm saying?
Can I take
We
that?
gotta be
Yeah.
stable first, but go ahead.
Like, where does he have some sense first and foremost? Like, you can tell based on the decisions that this man is making if he's going to be making the right decisions for y'all. Like, if that man ain't got no sense, you'll know that. You'll know not to follow no dummy. Like, is he making it? Does he have a goal? Like, does he have a plan? Is he accomplishing these goals? Like, is he like what is he doing to elevate himself? And what can he do to elevate you? If he can't do that, then he's simply not a leader. If he's following behind his homeboys,
come on.
He's not a leader. Like, he pits relationships with other people. He pits relationships with other people and see if he's an alpha male. If he's not an alpha male, then you probably can't submit to him. You probably shouldn't, but you probably.
If he's following, he doesn't know his identity at all. So why are you going to follow him? He don't even know who he is.
Exactly. Yeah. I think another big characteristic, Jordan, is like is the man mature enough to take care of his wife and then down the road take care of his kids. Like, I think that'll be another big thing, maturity in the relate, or not even in just the relate. Well, in the relation, you can say in the relationship too, because that's where it builds. But like, and once you get into marriage, like, is he mature enough to take care of you and your kids and so forth, and make sure that y'all are straight, and to make sure that you can be submissive to him and he's not leading you in the wrong direction.
So y'all think about this though. I just think it's just so random. Say, okay, something happened to your man and his mental becomes a little off. Does the woman step in and say, okay, it's time for me to take lead? Because
absolutely, absolutely.
That's
what a union. That's what a union is. Like, you pick up where I at. Like,
right.
Yeah, of course.
Cause so yeah, I'm on the live right now, and I didn't mean to like switch up the conversation, but somebody has a question for Raekwon, and the question was, how do you Raekwon feel inside the local church if you attend, or if you just go to church in general?
Good question.
Okay, so I used to feel like I was gonna burn up when I walked inside the church. Like, it didn't matter. Like, I just, because it's like every time I would find myself going into a church, it's like I would hear I would just feel the energy from people. And every time there was always a sermon about homosexuality. It never failed in my youth. It never failed. I felt like when the pastor saw me walking in, he was like, okay, yeah, we about to talk about this, because no, this is unacceptable. Like, I genuinely felt like that's what was happening. But as I grew up, honestly, like, I started to realize, like, everybody's not judging you. Like, some people are full of love. Like, you really just have to listen to people, and you have to feel people. There are people out there who are hateful. There are some people who use the Bible to attack people. Like, people do that. But there are also some real good people who genuinely love you for you, and they love me for me, and I love me for me. So when I walk into a church now, I feel confident, I feel proud, and then I know my God loves me. Like, I know my God loves me. So whatever you think is completely up to you. But I know my God loves me, and I love me, so I'm good. I love walking in the church, actually.
That's big.
I like that. I love that. Yes.
So with that being said, like, how did y'all feel about the baby situation? How y'all feel? How y'all feel?
Hey,
Look,
So
Yeah.
this is where
Too
I feel like
much.
the misconception is, right? I feel like people are coming and saying like, oh, the gay community want to cancel the baby because of it, like because if we gonna cancel the baby, we gotta cancel Lil Nas X. Like one, let's talk about that. Lil Nas X has done nothing but be himself. Look, the baby, we're not even mad about the homophobic comments. Like he talking about the people giving head in the parking lot. I mean, I don't care about that. I'm mad about the misinformation and the ignorance towards the HIV positive community. That's what blew me. And it blew me because he has so many fans out there. Like he probably has so many fans out there who are HIV positive. And let me think of exactly what he said. Does somebody have a computer so y'all can look up what he said?
yeah, because somebody's asking like, what did he say? So let's give out factual. So
Yeah.
let's give out facts. So anybody can look that up right quick.
Yeah. If somebody can pull that up. But I know he said something about like raise your hand or put your phone in the air if you ain't
if you flashlight or something.
Yeah, if you ain't got HIV or AIDS and you ain't none of them diseases that's gonna kill you in like 2 weeks or something. And that's so outdated. That is so outdated. Some of his fans possibly could have been born with it. They could have been raped. They could have been lied to and betrayed. And they are still living with it. That's misinformation. You can live a full, healthy life with HIV. There's medications.
Definitely.
all right, I have the comments right now that, well, not the comments, but the quote or whatever. So I can just read it.
Okay.
He said, if you didn't show up with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexual transmitted diseases, that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks. Then put your cell phone lighter up. And then he went on to say, ladies, if your vagina smell like water, put your cell phone lighter up. Fellas, if you ain't, in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighter up. And so, I don't know, me personally, I feel like for one, like those comments, I mean, they were just ignorant to say.
Too much.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, like if you want to get the crowd more engaged and interactive, like, you know what I'm saying, with your show and performance, there's better ways you can, you know what I'm saying, do it. And then he kind of like doubled down on his comments like through social media and stuff. And like that just made it look like he just didn't like care or understand, like, you know what I'm saying, the effect of what he had said. But I will say that, if he doesn't, agree with that lifestyle or whatever, like nobody should fault him for that, because that's just what he believes. Like if that's how he, you know what I'm saying, like grew up, like how his parents raised him or whatever like that. But it's just like Raekwon was saying, the misinformation, you know what I'm saying? Because, there's like people with HIV, AIDS that's out here like living like as healthy as they can be, taking their medication. You wouldn't even know it unless you had asked them if they had HIV or AIDS, you know what I'm saying? So,
I agree. I had 2 points for it. Picking off what Raekwon and Jordan said, the LGBTQ community, they get attacked on a daily basis. I mean, that's nothing new. But it was what the cancel culture came in was when he started talking about, people with HIV and AIDS. Like that's a very serious matter. Like Jordan said, people are working on that on a daily basis. Some people may have slept with someone that didn't know they had it and mistakenly got it. Some people were born with it, and some people are just trying to get over it. So I think that's one of the reasons why, cancel culture was like, he got to go. But then I started thinking, I was like, nigga, you ain't made enough record to be up here making all these comments and then think people gonna just keep supporting you and like doing all this other stuff. Like, no, you're not. You're not
made the
that,
same
you ain't got there yet. Like, you're not
times.
there yet. So.
Like he's made the same song over and over. And I just feel like as a celebrity, like as somebody with a big voice, you gotta use it right, babe. Like you just have to do better. Like I feel like it's so much bigger than what he said. Like so many people make comments like that about HIV and they're just so uneducated about it. And it just really blows me. Like I have a lot of people who are close to me like who I love dearly, who have HIV. And it's like,
be mindful.
I see what they go through and I hear what they go through, and I'm educated on the situation. So I'm just like, it just blows me like how ignorant he can be. Like, undetectable equals untransmittable. Like, understand that it's not some like, oh, they got AIDS, like I gotta run. Like, it's not even that. And that's just what, like, and that's another thing, and that's why that is a reason why people are not talking about their status right there, because of these stigmas. Like, people are terrified to be like, so I'm HIV positive, because they're scared of the backlash, and that's why it's spreading.
They know they're gonna get
like
attacked.
That's why it's just like people are scared to get tested, because it's like it's so taboo. Like, it's looked upon like it's so nasty, and it just blows me.
Right.
Like, get text, know your status. Like,
and then people trying to compare it to Lil Nas X and the stuff he does, but and try and compare that to the gay community, but people don't know like HIV/AIDS, like even straight people can get it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just relegated to the LGBT community. You know what I'm saying? There's like straight heterosexual people who have HIV/AIDS. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's one like misconception and misnomer that we have to like just get rid of, because
Yeah, I agree with what everybody said, but at the same time, I wouldn't say throw them away. I'm the type of person that loves to give people grace, because I don't want nobody to throw me away. Just to come from the other side of it. Like, I would say, let him learn from this mistake. Not saying, oh, you okay, just let him just do whatever. But let him, like they're doing, let him know that he's wrong, but allow him to grow from this mistake. Because like you said, he didn't know the information. So something he didn't know, now he knows, so he can't make that same mistake again. So give him that grace.
Right.
I mean, give him the grace if he deserves the grace, but I'm not about to be like, oh, I'm gonna give him a second chance, and it's something that he's like, he said it, and he's gonna stand on it. So he gonna stand on it, like he gonna lay in it.
But I feel like more of what he's saying he's gonna stand on is the fact that he don't accept that community. I don't feel like he was more standing on the information.
Well, girl, if you want to give him a pass for that, if you want to be okay with that.
I mean, I'm not okay.
However,
it's the fact of just understanding, like, okay, give him that chance to. Because I mean, if he didn't know, he didn't know. Like, not saying what he said was wrong, but it's a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I might have said wrongly, and I would love for somebody to understand me. Like, okay, yeah, she didn't know. So
understood. But if you're literally sitting here calling out a group of people talking about, oh, they're gonna die in 2 to 3 weeks. Like, regardless of what you know about the disease, that's mad disrespectful. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's blatantly disrespectful. Like, you knew that you were being rude and you did that. So it's like, like, if I don't care that they cancel this man's career or whatever, like, I don't care about that. But if he's not going to be sincere with what he's saying, he gets nothing from me. I can't control what y'all do. If y'all want to support this narcissistic, homophobic, misogynistic man, y'all feel free to do so. However, just think about your mothers and think about your sisters and your children and your nieces and your nephews and your brothers and your sisters. Just think about all of that and the ideas that he has towards those people once you're supporting him, and see if you still want to support him.
I totally understand.
I think we need to hold him accountable for what he said, because it is wrong. Like, you don't just come out and say harsh things like that, like telling somebody if they got a certain disease that they're gonna die in 2 weeks. Like, people understand that because of the certain kind of disease that it is, but like, you can't just be out here, like, no matter how big your platform is, you can't just be out here targeting people and just disrespecting them, because that's their life. That's the way that they live. Like, I understand everybody has their own certain beliefs, like, and we can't fault everybody for their own beliefs, but you can get held accountable for the things that you come out of your mouth and say, like, especially like with that comment, like, you have to be held accountable for that. And I'm pretty sure everybody's letting him have it. So like, he's feeling that pressure, like, okay, I shouldn't have said this. Or even if he does stand on it, like, and Shay, I do get what you're saying of like giving him the grace. Like, I understand that part too. And I understand what you're saying too, Weclome, but I think we do have to hold him accountable for it, and we don't just like let him just keep doing this over and over and over.
And that's my whole thing. Like you said, accountability. Just make sure he know, like, you're wrong. You're wrong now.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
right.
Right.
You are wrong. But are you?
Right.
Because when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Right.
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 All right.
But that just reminds me, like, okay, Lil Boosie. Let's talk about Lil Boosie for
Yeah.
because he's also on the
Wow.
Lil Boosie don't care.
Reckless.
since Lil
Just
Boosie has
don't.
gotten out of jail, out of prison, that man has been nothing short of problematic
Right.
ever
Yeah.
since. Like ever
Yeah.
since, and he keeps getting like. How at what point do you keep giving people grace? Like, it's not even grace at some point. It's just like, y'all just don't care. Y'all got the same beliefs. So at this point, y'all just don't care. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm glad when people are vocal about their thoughts and their opinions, because I know who not to support. Like, I supported the baby from the beginning. For one, he's from Charlotte.
Mhm.
Like, and I just felt like his music was good, and the baby was fine. But now I'm glad he showed his true colors. I'm so glad he showed his true colors. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm more the person like, you stand on what you believe. I don't fault nobody for what they believe. Like at all.
Right. Right.
If that's
Yeah.
what you believe, is what you believe. I can't change how you feel. Only thing I can give you is my perspective of why I feel the way I feel, and you choose to believe what I believe. Like,
and I feel that, and that's how I believe. You can believe what you want to believe, but I just feel like it's a way for you to relate it. Like, I just feel like you can tell what you believe without disrespecting and hurting people. Like, I just don't like people who do that, like who say what they want to say without any regard for anybody else. That's just unacceptable to me in any situation.
Now that's I totally agree with that. Be mindful of how you come across.
Like,
exactly.
I love having different opinions. Like, I love being able to open each other up to a different way of thinking. But it's just, you just gotta know how to do that. Like, you can't just disrespect people.
I totally agree. So y'all, before we go into this trivia game, do y'all feel like we should give the audience a chance to ask questions or just give their opinions or anything like that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have something to say it. Change
Right.
We have 16 viewers right now. So if anybody have any questions or anything they want to throw out there, we will like read it out and just answer your questions. Read down for it. I mean, we're doing good on time, so yeah.
Or if you got something that you want, like you got something specific for us and you want to think about it and you want us to answer it in the next one, we can do that too.
Yeah.
And we appreciate y'all for taking y'all time out and joining in and listening to us as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That got me riled up.
I do. Thank you, Miss Roxanne. Roxanne Anderson said we are doing a great job. No question that we just doing a great job.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for trying. So what's this game that we talking about?
So go ahead, Jordan. This your little spin right here. Shoot it.
All right, so we gonna kick things off. A little overrated, underrated. So basically, I'ma just throw out name, person, topic, place, thing, and gonna tell me is it overrated or underrated, and then
hold on before we get started. Y'all just got a question. And before I get started, Miss Crystal said she's so proud of all of us. So thank you, Miss Crystal.
Thank you.
Okay, so Kira Lewis, she said, how do you all feel about having a consistent prayer group, like a daily thing, like people that are religious? I mean, you know.
I'm not really. I'm down to pray always.
Right.
Definitely.
Prayer is key. Yeah. Prayer is key. So
prayer is key. Definitely.
Prayer is the foundation of everything. So I'm down.
But I will say this. It's very hard to find somebody that's consistent in their prayer life. Like you can't just be out here praying with anybody, because this is a whole different thing. But like something that they can have on them can jump onto you, and you have to be very mindful of that.
Right.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Wait, okay. So, okay, I have a question about that because I mean, I hear you. You said you can't just pray with anybody, but like, isn't that the point though? Like, isn't that the point to like pray together and like, isn't that the point?
Yeah, it is, but like you have like you start to get like gain discernment, and once you get that discernment, like you'll realize of that the person that you're around, and God will start to show you like the people that you're around. God will start revealing those things in certain things, like while you're praying, he's talking to you. You fasting, he's gonna show you these certain things. Dreams, like I can't tell you how many times I've had dreams about people that I'm close to. Like God, he shows those certain things. But I mean, I get what you're asking though. Like, isn't that the reason just to be able to pray with different people? But sometimes you have to really be very careful, because some people say they want to pray with you and they want to be a part of that prayer group, and they're just doing it just to try to doing it. Yeah.
Your motive.
And some people are praying on you, but the other praying, like PRE.
Right.
Yeah.
On your
Yeah,
downfall.
that's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Like, no, I
That's
was just,
good.
I was just like kind of making sure you weren't saying, because I mean, I feel like anybody can pray with the right intentions. Like, I don't feel like you have to necessarily,
Depends on your heart posture. Your heart posture.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
I think
we get
another important thing to add is picking back off what Raekwon said, isn't at the point to just pray with anybody, but the more you pray, you can't hang around people. As God is elevating you, he's also elevating your prayer life. So and not to shift the focus, but if I'm praying in the prophetic, I can't be praying with you about cats and dogs.
Come on.
We do that some other time.
Come
on, sir.
As God elevates you, like what Jordan said, as God elevates you, he'll connect you with the right people that are on either the level or the level above you, so that you can know this is where your prayer life needs to go to, not ABC 1, 2, 3.
Because your prayer life would never stay at your prayer life would never stay at one level. As you continue to pray, you elevate.
You grow,
right.
You elevate constantly.
We have to have an episode about spirituality and religion.
I'm ready, because
like, so
definitely let's get into it. Let's get into it.
I'm ready. That's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
Right.
Like, okay, so y'all, not to switch, but we have another question. It says, how do you feel about our generation being bashed by previous generations?
Oh, let me start off with that. I'm gonna be real. I just feel like these other generations just be hating, to be honest. Like, I just feel like they be hating because, it's all about evolution. It's like over time, things change. Like, okay, when they first came here on boats, no type of transportation. They had horse and buggy. Then that translated to people like riding bicycles. Then you have people making cars and driving cars. So everything's always meant to evolve. And I feel like that's what, our generation is a part of. Like, all this technology, like this is what our generation is basically based off technology. You can't blame us for something that's being introduced into the world. You know what I'm saying? Not by our own doing. By your generation who introduces to us to make it easier for the future generations. And I feel like that's what, some of the older crowds are just like not realizing, what I'm saying?
That's where they're closed-minded, and we are
closed-minded.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to open up the minds.
Yep.
Anybody else got something to say upon what Jordan said?
Said the whole thing.
I feel like you summed
it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, he definitely did.
We have a lot, y'all. They coming in. Okay, Bishop Eddie Johnson, he says, I love to stir up a group. So is truth absolute or relative, and why?
It's definitely relative.
So is truth absolute or relative, and why?
Relative, because my very relative, because my truth, what I see, how I see the situation might not be how you see the situation at the end of the day.
Right.
Like I feel like anytime we tell something, it's from our perspective. Like if you saw the same thing, you would probably tell it differently. So I think truth is definitely, it's definitely relative.
I agree. Cause I mean, it's all in your perception. So
Definitely.
where it plays like in your perception. So I say relative also. Anybody else? Y'all good? Agree?
Agree.
Yep.
I agree with Raekwon.
So my grandmother says, how do your family feel about what your guys are doing? Like being a part of a podcast, basically, I guess is what she's saying.
Definitely
That's a good
proud.
question.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say why it's a good question. Because for those of you that are viewing, we had a Zoom call. Was it Wednesday? Yesterday and Wednesday actually. And Shay asked a very important question. She said, how are you going to be able to handle when you have family or friends that watch this podcast and they come at you saying, what were you talking about here? Is this in relation to me and stuff like that? So I think that's a very good question. I think they can go both ways. But as for me personally, my family, they absolutely support it. To see a whole bunch of Black influencers bringing education, bringing, open-mindedness and being outside of the box. I think that's something that really gains people's attention. So from my side, they absolutely love it.
Same.
I would assume. That honestly, I haven't really had like a conversation with them about it, and I don't know why, but I think it's like honestly, sometimes I be feeling like, I'm sorry, family, because y'all know I love y'all, but I be feeling like they don't think what I do is like important sometimes. So I never really tell what I got going on. And I don't think that that's the case, but I just feel like I'm so different from a lot of them, and I don't know.
I can understand that. When you're out the box, when you're different, when you don't fit into what's the norm, you are misunderstood.
Yeah. You get looked at different. Yeah.
Always.
I totally understand.
Yeah. Always.
So here's another question from Markia Field. She said, do y'all feel like certain age groups are too sensitive about certain topics?
Yeah.
I say definitely.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are closed-minded and they don't want to open their mind up and look at different things. Like they want to stay basic, and like Raekwon keeps saying, he steps out of the box and he does different things. So like you got to do that in life. Like you can't just be wanting to continue to be basic your whole life. Like you ain't gonna have no flavor in your life. Like it's just gonna be very boring.
But I want to say yes, because I be feeling like that sometimes. But then when I think about it, I also have to think the generations before us said the same thing about us. Like they felt like we were too sensitive. And when I think about it, I'm like, bro, we're actually not too sensitive. We just calling out BS. Like we not gonna stand for the same. Like we're looking at things differently. Like we're not just accepting these norms. Like we're just not accepting it because you accepted it. We're gonna call it out and we're gonna make it work. Because a lot of the things that needed to be called out on are being called out, and now people are being able to be happy. People are being able to like get in tune with their mental health. Like,
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's good.
I didn't look at it that perspective because especially the Black community, we love to sweep stuff under the rug.
Always. Always.
So and that's because mama and daddy and grandfather and everybody else didn't talk about it or explain.
Yeah.
This is going on.
And that creates mental health issues too. Because if this is eating me up inside and you telling me to sweep it under the rug because that's what we accustomed to doing, sorry, it don't work that way.
Right. Exactly.
And they call it sensitive, but we're calling it out. And y'all see how the world is changing. Like it's progressing rapidly because we are calling out these things that people were afraid to call out 20 years ago. Like, so I don't think there's a such thing as too sensitive. If it affects you, speak on it because you got the power to do so.
Right.
Right.
I agree. That's good. I like that. That's good. So the next question is from Bishop again. He said a last question. Ladies, do you believe feminism is a destructive force? If not, this show, the next, he was asking if we could answer the next show, but do you believe that feminism is a destructive force? Like,
Is this for what? Did he say for the women?
when he said
Can you
ladies,
explain that a little more?
yeah, could you like explain it just a little bit more so we can understand a little bit?
Like I think what I know what he's trying to say. Basically, like has feminism kind of like basically like has it been like basically destructive to I guess the female mindset and what they're looking for or whatever like that, or just society in general. I don't know if y'all watch Kevin Samuels, but he kind of like, talks about this in a sense.
I'm trying because I want to answer correctly and I don't fully get it.
Yeah.
But
Read the question one more time.
okay. Ladies, do you believe feminism is a destructive force? That's the question.
Yeah, so do you feel like it's a destructive force towards like marriages? Is it destructive towards like the foundation of Black people? I mean, or people altogether? Like, is it like we talking about growing up Black, so
In a sense of like being too feminine or just feminine?
No,
Yeah,
like
being like exposed and stuff. That's what he's trying to say. Like,
I'm just trying to
like feminine, like feminism, like
So
it's
like
like being an activist, like standing up for women's rights, feeling like women should be more independent, women should be working just and making just as much as men, like women's rights is what I think is what he's getting at. Like, do you think the feminist movement is damaging?
no.
I don't think it's destructive. I feel like anything it helps build society. Like I feel like women plays a big part of why a lot of stuff is taking place. Like, cause I feel
Definitely.
we don't get off top as much. Like women
Right.
a big part in the whole. We nurture men, so if we're nurturing y'all, we helping y'all. So I mean, we are not destructive. No.
Read the question one more time, because he might have been talking about something else. One more time.
Right. I'm trying to.
Said, do you believe feminism is a destructive force?
Oh, okay. Well, unless he was talking about femininity, but but he said feminism. So
if he come in and give a little more elaborate answer to a question, I will come back to it.
yeah.
Okay. Jonica Leaf said, do you guys feel like these Black-owned businesses are hyped up by how popular you are?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
times a
Yeah.
thousand. Yes, times a thousand.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's elaboration needed, child. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the product could be trash and you could be popular and they still gonna hype it.
And
I'm
right. Buy it. Exactly.
And I ain't buying it.
Not.
Who you are. You could be my best friend, my brother, my mom. If the product is not what it's given, I'm not going to purchase.
It's
I'm
not
not
giving
wasting
what it's supposed to gauge.
It's
Like,
I'm not wasting my money on it. I'm sorry.
no.
Exactly.
Not doing it.
Gee.
But we're not talking about these Black businesses though, because I mean, somebody, I don't mean no disrespect, but you can't want your product to be Hollywood and your attitude is trash.
Come on.
Like,
Right.
Come on, sir. Come on, sir.
There's no transaction there. You don't like people. You always mean, you rude to everybody, but then you want to know why everybody's supporting your business. Look at your
Right.
character. Like,
Yeah.
no.
The way you acting ain't gonna make you no money at all.
Right.
Come on. That's it. And Bishop said y'all was correct, Jordan and Raekwon, of what y'all was explaining. So
Okay.
Good stuff.
yeah. Okay. I mean, there's no more questions. I don't think I missed anything. I don't think. Trying to make sure.
Have we hit the hour mark yet?
We definitely did already. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
hour
we did.
and 11 minutes. So you know our max is 1:30. So we can go ahead. Yeah, Jordan, go ahead. I ain't gotta cut you off no more.
Okay. So basically, over overrated or underrated, I'ma just, pose
Hold on. One more. Y'all just gonna be all right.
you keep cutting me off, man. I'm trying to have my little sign right quick.
You got something. Somebody got a question. Okay. How do you guys feel about the standard set for men in relationship?
I feel like the standard, like, I don't know, I don't know, like, it just depends, I feel like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's standards are different.
Yeah,
so-
Everybody's
Very
standards are
different.
different.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
definitely feel like in society right now, especially like, I feel like people are expecting men to be, I don't know, maybe it's the celebrities and it's the social media relationship.
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
you gotta be buying diamonds and dropping off bank like to your girl. And you
Yeah.
gotta be, like
Gucci bags
Buying
and
these-
Louis
buying these
Vuitton.
big-
ridiculous.
Yeah. These big
Like, these
Chanel
standards are
bags, you
just-
gotta drop that off every hour. Like, no, we're not doing that.
But
Be reasonable.
with that being said, though, like we can talk about. Do y'all believe that a man should be the sole provider, or do y'all believe in 50-50?
50.
50-50.
Definitely
50-50.
50-50.
Definitely 50-50.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless
I mean,
you want to. Right.
Right.
and I
Unless
don't think 50-50 has to necessarily be money. Like I pay half the bills and you pay half the bills, but now we gotta, like, if I'm paying the bills, you need to be taking care of the house, like not just being here looking pretty,
definitely.
being in the house.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
be
Right.
Definitely.
doing what you got
Don't
to
be
do.
here-
So,
Don't be in here tearing my house up and I'm paying all these bills. Nah.
Okay.
that ain't
But
we ain't
but
finna
if I'm
do
paying
that.
100%, if I'm paying 100% of the bills, I'm coming home to my bathwater rent. I'm coming home to a cooked meal. Like I'm getting 3 meals a day. Like
Yeah.
I ain't gotta do
Yeah.
laundry ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
it don't mean to
Definitely.
let the woman become lazy. No, you step up in
No.
areas. That's
Yeah.
Oh
what
yeah.
some areas.
Definitely. Like
Yeah.
Raekwon said earlier, like you pick up where I lack it.
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
True. Definitely agree. Like y'all said, it really just depends on the person because I could say some standards are too low. So I'm just saying it really just depends on the relationship.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. My mom said it should be 100-100 because she don't need no half of a person.
That's
I agree.
right.
Don't do, Mom.
Right.
Come with the action facts, because I mean we missed that. Look,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely about to start using that now.
Right.
whole people, not half of a person. Let's go.
Right.
Right. We
Yeah.
need the whole.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I need you completely together. Yeah, that's
Right.
good. Thank you. That's a wife there. So come on.
Right.
Yes, yeah. Okay, Jordan. I don't think you're gonna get cut off this time.
If they get another question, just ask it after the game.
Okay.
All right. So basically, overrated, underrated. Basically, I'm gonna throw out a topic. So, person, place, thing, activities, something, and you're gonna tell me if it's over, underrated. Some people can like jump in and kind of like question or like, you know what I'm saying, the other person, like, well, why you think that's overrated or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
You ready?
Yeah, let's get
So-
it. Let's get into this.
All right. So,
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna start off. I'm getting someone. Okay, so Shay, overrated, underrated, skipping class.
Um. I'm guessing it's dependent on you as a person.
You gotta give me the answer. You gotta tell me
Let me.
from your perspective. Is it overrated or underrated? This ain't no dependent.
I'm gonna say if you are a popular person,
I'm talking about from your perspective.
okay. From my perspective, overrated.
Overrated. Why is it overrated?
Because I'm a chill person, so I don't know what people do when they skip class. So I don't need that. I can just wait till I get home. I don't really need to skip class unless I'm sick or I just didn't want to go to school. It ain't me skipping class just to go do something, in a sense.
Yeah.
It's overrated.
Yeah.
Great.
Anybody else?
Casamigos, overrated, underrated.
So,
I don't know. I ain't had it yet, so y'all
Dang,
big. What's up with
I-
it?
It's overrated. It's overrated because I don't drink.
And I'm trying to get Casamigos for like a month now. Like I just want to see what the hype is about. Okay, next. Who got something?
anybody else? Let's go.
I'm just waiting for somebody to go ahead and throw a name out.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm
I'm gonna do it
Okay.
then. Go ahead, Jordan.
Beyonce, overrated or underrated? Talk to me.
Underrated.
Underrated. Very underrated.
Underrated.
She's underrated.
Okay, Tyler, why you say overrated?
No, Tyler
No.
said underrated.
I said
She
overrated.
said
Okay, who say overrated?
Yeah, I want to know who said. All right, Shay, why she
Me.
overrated?
First off, she's overrated. Now let me say this, and let me say this. I give her props. She's a great singer. She's a great performer. She does it well.
Well,
Go Beyonce.
go. That's right.
But at the end of the day, I feel like people worship her, and that a part I can get with. That's where she becomes overrated. You have too many people that worship Beyonce. Like I get it.
Okay,
She's
okay.
an artist.
So in other words, you are mad because she's loved.
No,
Just
I'm
say it. Just say it.
not mad because she's loved. I'm just saying people should give a balance too. Like y'all, Beyonce fans do the most.
We do the
No,
most.
we acknowledge.
Listen, hey, I ain't gonna
We
lie.
praise the work that she does. Like, because it's not like we just saying like everything Beyonce drops, oh my God, it's just amazing just because we love Beyonce. No, we're saying that because she's like she genuinely, huh?
You might not, but there's some fans out here that are really
There's some fans that do.
Because everything that she does has been amazing. Like
Right,
it's not because we just worship Beyonce. We think she's a goddess. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's simply because like everything she has done has been worthy of being praised like that. Like she puts out real art. She's a real performer. Like she is drop dead gorgeous. Even her
Right.
clothing line is like that. Like so she does this like. So there's no reason for us not to give her the props that she deserves as a Black woman. Instead of not giving Beyonce the praise that she deserves, we should just give more other artists the same praise, if that makes sense. But I don't think she's underrated by it. I don't think she's overrated by any means. Like what? That whole concept.
I think she's praised too much.
Man, listen, that beehive and that Rihanna Navy will go to war about them. I tell you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna war about that.
She just
Navy
became a
and that
billionaire.
beehive. Hey,
She just became a billionaire. Ain't nothing. No.
I give props where they're due. I am not a hater.
Oh,
I'm far from
definitely.
a hater.
Yeah.
Cardi B.
Nah, I'm not gonna hate on her. I'm gonna give her props, but I ain't finna worship her. She's a great singer, but at the end of the day,
You know what I think is funny?
Now let's be real though. Before you say what you gotta say, y'all know there are some people out here that are like overly crazy over her. That is
People were like that with Michael Jackson.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's the only artist, but I'm just saying it's just the level. Not saying she's just have it at a level of like, okay, you are great, but not the greatest. Because there's only one great person in this guy. Let me not be deep.
Well, God's not person. So Beyonce's next in line. But but I mean I guess. Okay, Cardi B, because I think she underrated. I mean she overrated.
Yeah,
Definitely.
overrated.
yeah,
Kodak made
overrated.
her pop. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, she just be doing too much.
And her
entirely
husband
too much.
Out to like
Yeah. Just need to sit down somewhere.
Like, I think she makes good music. Like, she's okay, but I don't like the whole conversation about her and like people comparing her to Nicki Minaj. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
And that's not smart because Nicki Minaj, whether people want to accept it or not, she came in during a time where female hip hop was dying off. She brought that back to life. She is the trailblazer and the forerunner for all these other female rappers that have came along. So they gotta now. Nicki Minaj, she's very underrated.
Yeah.
That I will say
Yeah.
because people don't give her a props. They
Yeah.
don't give her
Yeah,
props.
because you gotta think about Nicki Minaj, like she actually can rap where like, you know, you see like how like females like now you kind of see like they're like kind of like sexually rapping. It's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like what they mainly
Yeah.
talk about. Where Nicki Minaj can actually like spit bars, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely. Yeah.
like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like not talking
And-
about like her body and stuff like that too.
Right.
So,
Right.
Because I mean, think about it. She done been on country. She done been on gospel, and she done been on like multiple genres of music, other than just talking about how fat her behind is and how she got this wet. You know what? Like she literally, and it comes up the top of her head. So she's very underrated.
Yeah. Definitely.
Very underrated.
I agree with that one.
Do y'all know Amaretta the Great?
Who?
I know her.
Amaretta.
Amaretta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do
Yeah.
y'all?
She's
I think-
definitely underrated.
She's
Definitely.
underrated.
Yes.
Definitely she's definitely underrated. Yeah.
Yes, very.
Now she's another female artist that can spit bars
Yep.
like off the dome. She's spitting
Yeah.
bars.
Yes.
Yeah. She's a lyricist. She was a lyricist. Like she has the knowledge to write the lyrics like without having to teach you. Like, and that's what I love. Like, let's give her props, and her props are not given at all. Like,
Definitely.
they give.
okay, I got one for y'all. Overrated or underrated? Atlanta.
Overrated.
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 Brad. Oh my gosh.
Them being way too many times. I think that's a problem. Like we didn't war it out. So it's like go too many times. So it's like you really don't. What else is there to do down there when you go down there?
Let me go to Atlanta as an adult and make that, and then I'll decide that because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's on you as an individual and who you going with. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Because if you're a wild person, Atlanta is for you. So you gonna say it's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You a chilled out person. You like, yeah, it's overrated. It ain't even with y'all.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. Somebody in the comments asked, was Jasmine Sullivan overrated or underrated?
underrated.
Underrated. Yeah. Definitely.
Now,
I
let me
think
tell
her
you-
rating is given what it's supposed to give. I think she's getting her cookies. I think she's getting her cookies. Like I mean, she's a wonderful singer, and we all
She's a
acknowledge that
great
she's a wonderful
singer.
singer, and she has great music.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't think she's underrated.
Definitely underrated.
Definitely.
She is
Yeah.
not all the props that she deserved at all.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. When people mention great R&B singers, they don't even mention Jasmine, and she should be on one of the top four. Like,
She should. She
Yeah.
can,
Well,
she can sing circles around.
maybe
She
that's
can,
me, because
she can blow.
what?
Every time I have a conversation with somebody about R&B, Jasmine Sullivan is always brought up. So I guess from like my perspective, I feel like she's rated probably because I see people posting on Instagram and Facebook all the time about Jasmine Sullivan.
Like, now lately she's starting to give her props, but it was
Yeah.
a season where she wasn't giving her props, and
She
it was
wasn't getting nothing.
somebody said it was like Jasmine don't give her props. Now everybody's like, yeah, you're right, she's not getting her props. So I feel like now she is starting to get it, but I feel like she's still underrated. She still deserves a little bit more praise.
Yeah, because I see that.
Definitely.
Somebody else in the comments said Kiki Wyatt is definitely underrated. I agree. Kiki Wyatt she's another one that can sing, and she don't
She
get
can
her
I also think she
Kiki
gets her
Wyatt.
cookies.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Kiki gets her cookies. She's a great singer. But I mean, I feel like with just singers, you can only go so far with them though. Like Kiki can sing.
Yeah.
Yes, she can sing. She can sing. I mean, yeah. But like where's the content? Where's the performance? Like where's the as an artist, you have to have more dimensions than just a voice. Like
Yeah.
or because I feel like Kiki got her cookies for what she gives.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because she
Definitely.
doesn't give out great content. Like I don't know a lot of Kiki Wyatt songs, so I couldn't.
No, because child, she always pregnant. She can't.
And she does more covers. She know how to sing and she know how to give birth. I will give my sis her cookie.
That part.
Yeah,
that
she got them two things down pat, don't she?
Yeah.
secure.
Yeah, I'll give her her little sugar cookies and almond milk. She can have all of that. But
Okay, since we're talking about performances, how y'all feel about Summer Walker? Like, she's overrated or underrated?
she's rated what she's supposed to be rated for me.
Definitely.
Where she's at?
I think she good where she at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, she's not giving everything she's supposed to give. So I feel like, she's
Yeah.
Not like when she first came out.
Yeah, I feel
Nah.
like
She done
Nah.
slacked off a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah. Do y'all see any more questions?
Yeah, she was good when she first came out. She done got to get nose done.
Yeah. Somebody else said Marcus said Coco Jones. Y'all know who Coco Jones is?
Ooh,
Marcus
yes.
who?
She Marcus Ruggs.
Period. Marcus was good.
Yes, Coco can sing.
I think she's underrated.
Definitely.
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
can
Wait.
sing.
Let me ask y'all this though, real quick, just to add this in here. Do y'all feel like light-skinned artists get more praise than dark-skinned artists?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of that brand. Yep. Because of that. Yep.
I believe. I do. I really
Do
do.
you know that Brandy, this was her first time getting a BET, this was her first time being nominated for a BET award
Really?
All these
in
years.
2021. Her
Listen.
first Brandy.
Listen.
That's ridiculous.
Norwood.
Listen,
It
bro.
is.
These award shows, they based on popularity, not like
They are.
quality.
Yeah.
That's all
They
it
are.
is.
Yeah.
That's
Nah.
But like, bro,
Right.
it's Brandy.
Brandy,
And she hasn't been nominated. She's only been nominated for one BET award since the BET award started. That's crazy. Put this into perspective real quick.
Do y'all think she overrated or underrated?
She's
Brandy.
underrated.
Incredibly underrated. Iggy Azalea was nominated for a BET award before Brandy. Think about that. The disrespect.
It's true.
That's the disrespect. Definitely.
Do y'all feel like the BET Awards are overrated or underrated though? Because I feel like the BET Awards, I don't feel like is.
Now
It
it's
goes
overrated.
back
Now it is.
to what Jordan said. Because as us people, normal people, we listen to music based on the quality that you're giving us, not the popularity of what your record label is pushing. Because half the BS they putting out now, you can keep that in the studio.
Trash.
So
Yeah.
BET Awards, even the Grammys, like it's nothing like it used to be because they're not giving the artists the recognition they deserve based on the quality of work. And to be honest, I think that's why it takes so long for many of our favorite artists to put out music, because they're like, where is the recognition gonna come in at? Like,
like Tiana Taylor stopped making music because she doesn't get the recognition, and she's so underrated.
Oh yeah,
she's very, very underrated.
Yes.
Very.
Definitely.
From singing, acting, into her outfit.
And
Her
dancing.
style,
Have you seen her
my
dance, bro?
God.
Her
Oh
dancing,
my
yes.
God,
Her
bro.
dancing,
Her
her
dancing.
style,
She,
all of that.
Everything.
She's different. She's a different breed. And don't nobody give her no credit.
And they don't understand it. And that's why they throw her to the side.
And it's the way that she can be so gorgeous and so handsome at the same time. It's just really crazy. Because she can really play whatever she wanted. Have y'all seen them abs? Bro, what? Like, where?
My girl just dropped dead gorgeous. Like, that's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Like, give her props. Like, yeah. Somebody said Corey Lay. What's her name?
Cora LeRae.
Cora LeRae.
She's
I've heard one song of hers. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yes. Yeah, she. I don't know. Yeah.
I felt like social media didn't like her, so I guess she getting.
But y'all know what pushed those type of artists? This younger generation. They are what's pushing them. So that's like that's what they like. So that's what's pushing her and her popularity. That social media influence, like
Yeah.
so maybe that's what's coming up in our next generation. So like, somebody said Tank.
Underrated.
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 Yeah.
Boy.
He gets his cookie.
Yeah, he's ready. Like, he's like, go Tank.
I mean, I feel like our parents' generation, like I feel like they love Tank. Like I feel like he gets his cookies from them, and he's put out a few good songs during our time that we thoroughly enjoyed. I think he gets what he deserves for me.
But I'm a more old school person anyway, so I'm down for the old music. So the music.
Yeah. You cannot get in my car and we not listen to 90s R&B.
Come on.
That's just the way it's gonna go.
Yeah. I'll choose 90s over this new music now. Yeah.
Any day.
Lately for me, it's been Whitney Houston. It's been nothing but Whitney Houston. So that's what you're gonna get out of me.
We love Nippy.
Yes. Can somebody read that other question? Because my phone is like
they said Usher.
Usher,
Usher overrated or underrated.
I feel like
he gets his cookies.
Usher done had his cookies. He getting old. It's time to settle down.
Yeah.
Thanks, baby. Don't settle down.
Right.
Somebody else said Doja Cat, however you say her name.
She gets her cookies.
And
I definitely agree.
Yeah, and and she's another one the younger generation is pushing.
It's gonna push, yeah.
But she's good though. Like I actually genuinely, I enjoy Doja Cat. Like her lyric, she's a lyricist, and she can actually sing, and she's a performer, and like her looks be like that. There's Doja Cat. She deserves everything that she's getting. Like I love her for real.
Yeah, she's just where she's supposed to be.
Even her music videos are so artistic. Like she's an artist, and I really
now that her. Now I love a good visual. Yes. But ain't nobody
somebody said
Beyonce's limited. So anyway,
whatever. Somebody said Jamie Foxx.
Bruh, Jamie Foxx, like he like that. He like that.
He like that. He is.
Just think about the range with Jamie Foxx. This man played Ray Charles.
Exactly.
And then bro is has #1 albums and songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you feel like it's just the range for me, bro.
It is.
Yeah.
Because I grew up thinking he was Ray Charles.
Yeah,
I saw that movie.
Underrated.
Exactly.
But y'all think he's underrated though? I genuinely feel like he gets his cookies. Like I feel like everybody knows he's talented. The numbers speak for themselves. I feel like he gets his cookies. I don't think he's underrated. Nigga, excuse me. Everybody knows that Jamie Foxx. Everybody knows he's talented. Like,
but it's I would say the younger generation would know who he was because he don't give that recognition no more though. But I mean,
because he don't give content. He also doesn't really give content anymore either. So it's really at this point it's up to us and it's up to us to reach the younger generation with him because he ain't got no new content, does he?
Not that no shit. He probably just chilling, kicking back.
Exactly.
Blame it on the deuce.
Lose.
Blame it on the Trump. Got me in the zone.
Don't
get me started.
Yeah.
I think this is your grandma.
What about college, y'all? Do y'all feel like college is underrated or overrated?
Overrated.
Overrated.
I'm gonna say this. If you know what you want to do as far as college, it's not overrated. But
it's not where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's not where it needs to be. But I feel like if you know what you need to do, like you know what I'm saying, then it's not overrated. Because to be honest, like me going to college and stuff, I realized college is really about networking. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
really what it's
Yeah.
about. Networking.
1000%.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about. And really,
Yeah.
that's what basically anything, like if you want to start your own business, you have to network. It's like nobody's gonna know about your business unless you don't
Unless you
network with
network.
other
Yeah.
people and stuff
Right.
like that. And that's the same way if you want to elevate in your career or job, you have to network with other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, it's just all about networking as far as college and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, college is all about networking, and it's like if you're involved and stuff. Like college, I don't think I made a bad decision going to college. I think it's for me, but I say it's overrated because I feel like people push that on a lot of people who don't really need it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
Exactly.
people make you feel like if you don't go to college, then you ain't gonna be nothing. So a lot of people don't feel like college ain't for them, and then it's like it manifests because they feel like they didn't go to college, so they're not gonna be nothing. So they settle for a regular 9 to 5. But people don't tell you that like you can do everything that you wanted to do without college. Like you can do everything. Like you said, and you don't have to just network in college. Networking can get you indoors at a degree can never. Like,
yeah.
And we put too much importance on it for real, I think.
Yeah, I think with our generation, like we got put in a position to where like our parents, like they wanted us to go to, like they wanted to force us to go to college. But like you said, there's so much things that you can do without a degree. Like I know people that don't have a degree that has a great paying job. Like right now, I don't have a degree and I make good money. So it's like, and like I said earlier, like I'm a leader at my job and I make good money without a degree. So I think it really just depends on
Like
if you think
networking.
like that's the biggest part. Like you just got to get in there and network with people. Yeah.
I'm a witness to that because I got denied for my current position 3 times. 3 times denied for it. And after that, I started networking. I started connecting with people who was above my pay grade, they were higher level than me until I got the phone call. Hey, we have this leadership position for you. Do you want it? Now, y'all just denied me last 3 times because I didn't have no degree.
Yeah. But now you want to get them.
Yeah. It's the network.
Yeah.
Yeah, network is key. That's why I got this team. Hello, team.
But I do think though that people should try if they can. They should try college because you really don't know what's for you. You don't know what's for you until you try it, and it's not for everybody. But I do want to get rid of the idea that like if you don't graduate in 4 years or you drop out, that you fail. Like because that's not the case. You tried it, it didn't work. Try something else. It's gonna work. Or it might not. Try something else.
Right.
I got one last one for over or underrated. Okay. Social media.
I think it gives what it gives. Like,
I think it gives what it's supposed to give.
Like,
it has its pros and cons.
Yeah, so it's where it's supposed to be.
Just kidding. No, I do. I'll say I think it's over. I definitely think it's overrated in a big sense because a lot of people put so much importance on social media, and that's why a lot of these standards are ridiculously high. That's why depression rates are ridiculously high because you're looking at how these other people living and thinking that their life is and wondering why yours isn't. Like,
that's true.
It's real problematic, honestly, but it's also
it depends on the individuals and your mindset and how you handle social media. Like, it's a good tool. It could be a destructive tool. Like, it's how you handle it.
But I feel like one thing with social media that like makes it a pro is that like, you can actually make money off of social media. So it's not like, it's just like a lost cause. So, like people making money off Instagram or like, Twitter, like Facebook and stuff like that. Like that's one thing, like you can have multiple sources of income and one of them can be just social media. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I say that's the biggest pro of it.
I think the biggest pro of go ahead.
Another big pro of it is networking. Like you use it for networking. Like for example, like this right here, like our podcast, like it's on Facebook Live, and there's no telling how many people it's gonna reach. while it's on Facebook. So I think another big thing of it is networking, because you can use social media for anything, like promoting your business, and even like when it comes down to like relationships and stuff like that, putting that stuff out there, and just like you can just put so much out there, then the whole world can see it.
Yeah.
And also, it helps us like in society advance, like politically and socially. Like there's so many movements that we've had that have expedited the process of making stuff happen, because we can reach billions like at one time, like, and everybody like, and social media has a huge impact. Like it's like the biggest media, like it's the biggest form of media for real. So it's like the fact that everybody can see what we're fighting for and everybody can join in. It's like we can make a lot of stuff happen a lot faster too. So politically, it's definitely a benefit.
Yeah,
I agree. Y'all gonna answer these last three. Just somebody said Luther, Kevin Hart, and Luther and City Girls.
Luther Vandross?
Yeah.
I mean, I like him. I don't. He's the older generation for real. So like.
Yeah, I don't too like. I know of him, but like not too much. That makes sense.
I think he was giving his time.
He was. Before he passed, he received the flowers he needed.
Yeah. Definitely. That's it right there.
Yeah.
When did that happen? What?
He's Luther, but he's gone.
Oh, what did you say the last two were?
City Girls.
Overrated.
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 I feel like.
I think they get their cookies deservingly.
They get their cookies, they're still overrated. Like they praise them a little. Like, I mean, because their content is good, but it's starting to give the same thing. Like,
yeah, absolutely. But yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And last one, somebody said Kevin Hart.
Overrated.
Yeah. He tried too hard for me. Like,
but he's been, y'all gotta give him his props though. He's been doing better though. Like his last two movies that he's put out, they've been pretty good. Especially like the fatherhood movie on Netflix, and then then he just released something I can't remember the name of it. But those last two were pretty good. Y'all gotta give him his props. Y'all can't just say my boy.
I'm gonna watch it, but I was basing it on his comedy specials.
His comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
Oh yeah, like not to keep us, but like since we're talking about like comedians, DC Young Fly, overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
I can't say he overrated and I can't say he underrated. I think he right there. I think he right there in the middle.
Yeah.
You think he gets
like,
I think he get his cookies. I think he deserves his cookies that he get. I think he do. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I feel like with DC Youngfly, he appeals to our generation, and just like, you know, I'm just saying, just like us, as the younger people, we can like relate to him more, and so like, you know, that's why the younger people, you know, mess with him more heavy or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So,
oh, okay. Tiffany Haddish.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Underrated.
She was good when she first came out.
Who said under?
No, I said over.
Why you say underrated?
I think it was Michaela.
And she's a good actor. She's a pretty good actor. She's not bad.
I think she's okay, but she's one note though with acting. Like it's like she can only play the character that she is.
And it's her.
Yeah, but I don't need it. So I don't think I can't call her a good actor if she can only play herself. Cause like
exactly, like they base her role off of her. Like,
off of her, yeah.
It's all about that range. That range is gonna make you or break you. That range, man.
Yeah, she just don't have the range for me. And her comedy is like just real, like It's not funny. Like I was watching because she was on the episode of Legendary and she was a judge, and her jokes were just not landing. It was just corny as hell. I'm sorry, Tiffany, but it's a chop. It's a chop.
Child.
That's enough for me. Y'all, just to piggyback on DC, somebody said he's definitely underrated. People don't realize how talented he is because he's so goofy. Now,
That's true.
he
That's
can
true.
sing, like, and his music,
Yeah, he can.
it has been like
Yeah.
a little vibe. Like, I can dig this.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it just takes him to be more, I feel like, just don't be as goofy and just let the world know that it's more.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. And we done went overtime. Done got caught up a little bit.
Oh, yo.
It's been good.
It's our last one. Somebody said Zendaya, if you know Zendaya.
Underrated.
She gets
Underrated.
She's definitely underrated.
No,
Underrated.
actually, just kidding. Yeah, she is underrated.
Underrated.
For sure. For sure.
I feel like they give what she's supposed to. Like,
She's really talented though. Like, and she's she's so talented. She's an activist. Like, I love her. I love everything about her.
Yeah.
This is it. Keke Palmer. Like, I feel like she does not.
Underrated.
She's underrated. She's very talented. She's very talented.
She's our
Very.
generation. She is our generation's Angela Bassett, and I just don't think she gets her
Come
credit.
on.
Yeah.
The range
Yeah.
with Keke Palmer is just incredible. Just think about it. She played Akilah in the Bee. Then she went and played Long Shots, playing a biographical story about a female quarterback. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like come on,
He took
bro.
it
Like,
back.
Yeah.
He took it back.
like
Yeah.
come on, bro. Like
Definitely.
people just
Like,
don't know.
She does it all. She can sing, like,
She had her own TV show, like True Jackson. Oh,
Yeah. Does she not give y'all Angela Bassett though? Like, does she not give y'all Angela like in her 20s?
For our gender, yeah.
yeah,
Because
like,
she's always
Yeah.
there. Like, to me, she's always even favored her. Like the way she acts, like because she always does that little, like, they love doing that. I don't even know how to explain it, but that real like it's like I don't even know what I'm trying to explain, but they favor a lot.
yeah. So y'all, I feel like that wraps it up right there. Like,
Yep.
that's it. Like, I'm ecstatic. This was wonderful. I totally enjoyed myself. Like, kudos to podcast one, Grown Up Black. How do y'all feel?
Yeah. This was it. I enjoyed
This
it.
is very
Great.
very fun.
I feel good. I thank everybody for tuning in too, just to hear our voices and what we had to say.
Yes, thank you to our audience. Please like, share, comment. Let everybody know Change Minds is something that's about to be great. We are a movement. And we are open to new panel members. If you're going to be dedicated and committed to being a part, we are open to new panel members also. So let us know. We are open to it. And also we will be promoting entrepreneurs on here also. So if you know people that are entrepreneurs, young Black entrepreneurs, any race, it doesn't matter, and they're just trying to get out there, brand their business, hit one of these panel members, me, whoever, and let them know so we can just get you on here to promote your business, get you out there, because it's about networking. And we're trying to help people grow individually in everything. Right. So we're open to all of that. We also are looking for prominent people, like leaders in the community, or that is trying to give out information to the people, right, with COVID shots and all that type of things, just to get on here, give out information. So we're open to all of that. And we're just excited for y'all just to tune in with us. Like, I am excited. And that's about it. Anything else from anybody else? Y'all good?
Yeah, we good.
I'm good.
Everything.
Let's change minds. Like, thanks y'all.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed this. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you, audience.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, see y'all.